What's up, everybody? What's up, Tammy?
Hey,
My
Tasha.
yang.
How are you today? How was your weekend?
My weekend was pretty good. Spent time with my in-laws in Rockingham.
Okay.
That's racetrack city right there.
So y'all
And
say
it is. They do a lot of racing down there. So
little
it's pretty
country down
cool.
there.
It is
Mm,
country.
it
They
is.
do have one Walmart and one high school.
Okay.
If my brother-in-law is listening and my husband, sorry, I didn't mean to crack on your time because we have one high school too in Hoboken where I grew up. It's Hoboken High, so
But
same
it's
thing.
Hoboken,
Yes,
nonetheless.
Hoboken.
And it's near New York City.
Yes, and up the hill, down the hill from Jersey City.
That's right. That's right.
So
That's right.
pretty cool. But Tammy, how was your weekend?
I'm fine. I've been in these rubber bands in my mouth that I have to change at least twice a day when I'm eating. It's annoying. I'm over these braces. April can't come fast enough.
Oh wow, wow, wow! I
Even
know
though my
that's
teeth
right.
are doing well, they're really progressing. Like there are no gaps, and yeah. But you see me like doing a little crazy thing, and it's hard for me to talk sometimes. And I like to talk, and I talk fast, so it
Yeah,
slows me down.
you got some little thing going on where you be like,
Y'all see, it's so old lady. Some of y'all, I'm always doing that because I'm
like
always
Tammy,
doing
your
it.
tongue is sticking out.
Tell them, Tasha. Tasha, that's because you took a cheat way. You took Invisalign.
I did.
Anybody got time for that? I went hard because I knew I wanted to get these things done off. Shout out to Taisha and Saudi, who was born
Yes.
today.
Congratulations, cousin Ty. The grandbaby
Uh-huh.
is here.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. But guys, we are in season 2. This is episode 34. It's called Fitness and Holiday Flavors. Get your workout on. Boxing, stuff like that.
So with that said, right, Tasha, a lot of people have been saying, "Oh, Tam," like it's a young lady who I became friends with via Instagram, via Facebook, and I saw her at the light downtown Newark, and she's like, "Oh my God, Tammy, you look amazing." Hey, Michelle, I gotta call you. I haven't talked to you. Like, I got a couple of beans to pick with you. Where you been? So, I'm like, feel like you look different, but my girlfriend Jenny says once you find your tribe, you're good. So at Break the Mold Fitness in Lyndhurst, I found my tribe. I could first of all, I don't like to sweat. I don't like to get up in the morning, and I get up in the morning at 5 o'clock, and it's always a challenge. And I think what it is it never becomes monotonous for me. So that's what I do. I do CrossFit. So at 46, I'm probably in the best shape I ever have been in my life. Mm-hmm.
Okay, wait a minute now, because now this thing is saying something about Facebook. It didn't connect it.
Oh, Tasha, you messed,
Oh,
and
hold
all
on.
your people come on Facebook. Was it
Yeah,
late?
so let's get this thing started. Let me hold on, guys, because now we got a little bit technical difficulties, and it was fine at first. So I don't know what's going on. So everybody that's on there, hold on.
Tasha messed up, y'all. This is why I don't do that
No,
technical stuff.
no, it just says that it did it on its own. So can you go on Facebook?
Okay, let me check.
Yeah, because I'm trying to figure out what
We did. Mm-mm-mm-mm.
we
George,
are.
give us a minute. We bootlegging over here.
Yeah, this is what happens, but I haven't had that happen during live.
It's on. It says it's on.
Oh, so why did it say no? Okay, okay. Sorry, you guys
It
can
says
hear us.
4 minutes. How long? How many minutes are we in?
Jenny, can you hear us? You're on YouTube. Okay. So Jenny's on YouTube. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing, Jenny. Thank you for doing that. Let me try to figure that out. It's telling me to I'm gonna figure it out on my phone. But in the meantime, Tammy, you want to go ahead and chat a little bit with them? I'm gonna try to fix this and
Okay.
get this working. This is kind of different.
So tonight's guest is the owner of the CrossFit gym that I go to. He is like the man, George Zakhary. I'm praying that I'm saying his name correctly. His wife is amazing. I call her the little powerhouse because there's always a spine to the body. And sometimes you don't necessarily see the spine, but she does all like they were on vacation. And I'm like, Marion, I think my payment went through. And she really did respond to me while she was in Puerto Rico. So thank you, Marion. But I just love the CrossFit class. My best friend Eric introduced me to it. He found it on Groupon, and we were like, "We're just gonna try this out," and we ended up both loving it a lot. Like I said, it's a challenge for me. It's interesting. I don't mind getting up at 4:30 in the morning.
Oh, so we
My
must be back on. Miss B,
We're
do you
back
see
on.
us
I'm
on there?
working it. We're on.
Okay,
I'm working.
cool. Got
Um,
that done.
I just enjoy it. It's a challenge. And one thing about me, I don't like boredom, and it never gets boring. Just when I think my body has gotten adjusted, I wake up sore in the mornings. So here is a bio of Mr. George Zakhary. He's the owner and founder of Break the Mold Fitness in Lyndhurst, New Jersey. His fitness journey began years ago at 240 pounds, trying to play catch with his son when he was out of breath and realized he needed to make a change. After several attempts through the beginning of his health and fitness journey, he was easily discouraged by the gym environment and often found himself uncomfortable. He continued to push through day after day to be a success for his son. This experience led him to his passion in both fitness and Tasha. I can't see the rest, but
Oh, hold on.
okay.
You got to take it down, Tammy. I'm trying to work the Facebook
I
right quick.
can't. Sorry.
You got to work technicals on the right.
No, 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 Tasha. Oh, and fitness with both fitness and motivation. So, with no further ado, I'm going to bring Mr. Zakhary in, and we just wanted to kind of touch on fitness, the importance of fitness, and we're going to talk about holiday food at some point in time because at this point in the year, is nowhere you can go and you can't talk about food, right? Because everybody want to eat cookies, cakes, bananas, puddings. So here we go. Hey, George.
Hey, ladies, how are you?
Wow. Well, thank you so much for sacrificing your time to come in and chat with us this evening.
Thank you for having me. This is amazing.
Thank you. So tell us a little bit about your journey, George.
Sure. So I'll go way back. We'll start early. So I came to this country when I was 4 years old. I was born in Egypt. So first generation immigrant. Came here, moved to Jersey City, and then moved into North Arlington to where I'm still living now for 30 somewhat years. But like you said, Tammy, and I got to a pretty bad weight growing up. I've been through a lot, and I used I guess the food as the solution to everything, right? Because we've all been knowing that. So I got to a pretty heavy weight, like you said, and it was something as simple as literally just standing there playing catch, and I was out of breath. And I figured, that was the day I had to make a difference. Like you said, it was tough. The gym environment isn't easy, and that's especially when you're a newcomer to it, right? You go in there and it's like, wow, everyone else is doing what I can't do,
Right.
and you get into that mind, that get into your head of, oh, they're doing this, I can't do this. They're doing this, I can't do this. So it was the same for me. I started with the running thing, and I just tried. I tried. It was weird. Then I went to the gym, and like you said, it was one of the most uncomfortable things that I've ever really done in my fitness journey. So it was really right around that time where I was like, I have to dedicate to have a safe haven for people that want to go through this, because it's not easy.
Hmm.
So I wanted to have that building where no matter what size, shape, color, doesn't matter what it is, you walk in and you feel like you're at at everyone else's level, even though you may not be. Like, no one is at the same level. You know this, Tam. You see it, but
Yes.
I wanted that building to where I can meet you where you're at and take you from there. It doesn't matter where you're at, because that's your starting point. And that was kind of the main thing. That was kind of where Break the Mold came into play. Is it's got to be that safe place where people can walk in an hour to feel good about themselves and walk out. It's right. Fitness has a huge part in it, but we talk about this all the time, Tam. The mental part is
Mm-hmm.
a big part of it, right? Because if I don't feel right walking in there, I'm not going to come back. And then that kind of just kills that journey. So,
Right.
in having that family atmosphere where no matter what weight you're pushing or what you're jumping or what you're doing, you've got your partner, your fellow athlete right there next to you, telling you to, you keep going and you can do it. And I think that's kind of where my main focus was, is that I wanted that safe place, and it would be for everyone, even though it would be some pretty difficult things because even when you had first come, Tam, like and Eric too, it's like you look at everything, it's like, whoa, this is a bit much, right? And then you go where you are, right? You start
Right.
where you are, you work your
And
way
it's funny
through
you
it.
say that, right? Because the first day I walked in, I'm like, I am not Xena the Warrior, right?
Yep.
Right?
Right.
So it's funny you say that because when you come there, that's what you get. You get family, you get help. I love Natalie, and she always tells me heavy, heavy. So I got her a T-shirt that says heavy, heavy
Yep.
because she pushes me, but it's at a gradual pace. It's also at a pace. When I think of Megan, when you're instructing me so that I'm not in a space where I'm hurting myself, right? So I know how to lift properly so that when I go to LA Fitness, now it's effective because now I know what to do with taking the things that I do in CrossFit and now I can use it in the gym. So that's probably the most like I feel. And then this is how how what you're doing in the gym is effective because people are looking like, oh, this person, and then you see them trying to do what you're doing.
Right.
They start imitating
Right.
you.
Right.
But yeah, you guys are definitely, and that's one thing that Eric and I love. We were like, it's so like you don't feel like you don't add up when you come. Like you said, I always tell Nat, I said I'm in the corner doing my old lady stuff. At 46, I can only compete against me. I'm not 35, right? I'm not. No, I got to do it at my pace. She's like, well, you're so encouraging. I'm like, yeah, because I'll be over there doing my own damn thing, but at my pace.
That's it.
Yeah.
You know what it is, Tammy, too, is like you're coming in and it's like, who am I going to see today? Who am I going to say good morning? You're going in to hang out with the fam, right? And it's like, once you get that in there, it's like, okay, you almost hold yourself accountable at a certain point. Like, my 5 o'clock peeps on Wednesday, my 5 a.m., like if they don't see me,
right.
they're going to be like, where are you at?
A cohort of people, right?
Right. Where are you at? Right.
So and I think, community.
Yes, and I think, and that was exactly kind of what I was looking for in building that atmosphere. And it's like, again, when we talk about like, and I know you call it CrossFit, but we call it circuit training, but whatever it is you want to call it, Tam. So when you get into that circuit training aspect, like the first thing when people walk in, it's like, oh, I can't do that, right? And that's that one thing that I want to take away is that there is no I can't, right? You start where you're at, we meet you where you're at, and then you move. Like, yeah, maybe you can't do what Tammy's doing now, but that doesn't.
But I think the encouraging force is that at some point in time, we all had our first walk in. The first walk of, I don't even want to say shame, but the first walk. So when you see a new face and you're like, you can do it. It's okay. It's going to be all right. And I've said this to people, and I've only been there since June 9th. I'm like, no, it gets better and you'll figure it out and it'll be okay. You'll find your zone, right? But once you find your tribe, as my girlfriend Jenny says, she's like, where were you at? I said, girl, I couldn't mess with your people. They was charging a lot of money and I just knew it wasn't financially, it wouldn't work for me. But this actually worked. And I think because you have us to actually go in, log in for the class and make sure accountable, right? Because you always tell us if you can't go, make sure you let us know in time so that someone who wanted the space. But I think it's it's the challenge. Oh, it's the challenge you're challenging yourself. And I'm my own competition. I don't care. It could be 1,000 people around. I'm my own competition. And I know that if I started at 10 pounds, like this morning I was lifting at 25. I'm like, yeah.
That's it. That's a win. And that's all it is, right? Because it's those personal wins that we look for. And at the end of the day, Tam, like you're not walking out of there like, oh, I need to have bigger biceps, bigger legs. Like the important thing is that you're walking out of there feeling happy, right? You're walking out of there feeling accomplished. You're walking out of there like, I just did something that I wasn't, or I thought I couldn't do. And then being able to break out of that. And again, that all came from all those experiences that I didn't want, right? So that's why, like you said, the first time we see a new face, that's the person we need to make feel the most comfortable because we know how that feels. Like I can actually, and it's funny, right? Because we always talk about how the struggles or the hard times in our life are what really brings us to where we're at. And you don't realize how important that is until you actually go through it, right? So me actually being able to feel that feeling, right? Instead of, because I know, you see that there's a, a lot of gyms out there, like trainers, owners, really fit guys, great physique, never had that issue, right? Sometimes they can't feel for the person. And I think being able to feel and say, you know what, I know where you're at. I know where your
Right.
head's at. I understand, the tenseness, the struggle that you're going through on your first day in a place that could look a little overwhelming, but I got you. And I think that's kind of the mentality is it needs to be all the time. It's like, yo, if you don't got it, I got you. And that's what we're there for, and it's not just the trainers. Like you said, it can be anyone on the floor. Any of the other athletes, like, hey, are you all right today? Like, come on, we got this together. And people will grab each other, partner up. And I think that's what it's about, right? Yes, the fitness aspect of it is great, but you can squat anywhere, you can lunge anywhere, you can jump anywhere, right? But how do you stay consistent? And consistency is comfort. Once you feel that comfort, it's like, okay, yes, when I go there, I'm uncomfortable. The weights are heavy. I need to move faster than I normally move. But the fact that I can get up and get in, because that's the hardest part.
Okay. At 5 a.m. in 40-degree weather.
Yes. And it's not, and
I'm here. So
you keep saying 5 a.m. It's not even 5. You're up at 4:30. You're in the gym at 5.
You're right.
Right. You know what I mean? So being able to say, okay, that hardest step is showing up. If you can show up, consistency is going to be there, right? Because I promise you, I got you on all the rest.
Right.
And that's all it is. As long as you walk in the building, everything else should be in place. And again, that comes down to, like you said, is if I'm comfortable walking in, because there's no one's ever comfortable putting 200 pounds on their shoulder and squatting it. I don't care what anyone says. Yeah, we like doing it, right? But it's not like I don't wake up that day and go, I can't wait to put all that weight on my shoulders and squat it. No, I can't wait to go to the gym, get my workout in, see the people, get out of the whatever funk I'm in. We've all had a tough year. We've all had a really tough year. So I learned a lot in that year. I learned, and again, for those that don't know, I actually signed my lease and opened my gym during COVID. When gyms were closed, I signed my lease. They closed me the next month. So going through that with my members and with the athletes, it was eye-opening because you see, and you've been through a lot of these milestones, saying, but moving from one gym to another, or just a birthday, or just any milestones. A lot of the cards that you get will say that was my release for an hour. No one said my legs look better, my butt looks better, my shoulders are great. No, everyone was like, that's my release for an hour. And that's where it was like, oh, this is what this is about now. I think things have changed where it needs to be comfortable because the outside world right now isn't. There's so much going on, right? We're dealing with this pandemic that Lord knows, where it's going to be, the divide that we're dealing with now. There's so much going on out there. It's great to have that family for that hour. And it's even better when that hour feels like 4 or 5 hours that you can enjoy it. Cause in our other building, we never had windows. Remember that? So we only had that one little window up top. And people always tell me, second you open the door, we look out.
Do you know how many days I look out at the people rowing like, damn it, if they could row, I could squat with this stuff on my back.
That's right. That's right.
Or when I'm coming in on 21, I'm like, they out here rowing. Oh, I'm gonna get in here and bust this hour workout up.
And that's it. And you know what it is? And it's like, and as long as our partners are there, motivate us and we're comfortable walking in, like that's kind of what it's all about. And that's where I was trying to kind of create that more than just the gym atmosphere.
Okay, so let me ask you this, because you said you definitely ought to go. What keeps you motivated? So after the weight loss, how long did it take you to come from 240 to your current weight? Because I couldn't believe it. When I was like, he used to be chubby. And I saw a picture like, oh, but then I saw your shoulder. I was like, oh, with the sweatshirt, I said, oh, he really has broad shoulders. Like,
Yep. Honestly, so the motivation, like you said, started with my 14-year-old, right? He got me going, and that I had to do for the family. There was no way I was going to be able to keep up with 8, 9 at the time and another one coming. And on top of that, I've got 2 that just run around everywhere, right? Like, so I need to keep up with them. So that was my motivation at the time. The boys, Marianne, obviously, like that was extremely important to me. Afterwards, when I realized that was the initial link, right? That's what got me going. I realized that it wasn't necessarily motivation anymore. It was consistency.
Okay.
Not every day there's going to be motivation. There's going to be days. And that's where I think people, I love whenever I have a personal training client, the first thing I tell them is like, we go through everything. We have before we even touch weights, we sit down for an hour and talk goals and whatnot. And they're like, what feedback can I feel? I'm like, it's going to be hard, because the people that tell you that you got this, that's great, but no, it's going to be hard. And our mindset is going to beat it, because consistency is going to beat it, right? Motivation isn't always there. So that started me off. And to be honest, as it was all growing, my family was always the motivation. Once there was people that relied on me outside of the family, which is now my athletes, like there's nothing more motivating than you guys. There's nothing more motivating than seeing someone that couldn't do a step up on a box, now jumping on a box. For someone that couldn't do a push-up, now doing a push-up. Like, so I'm telling you this now, Tammy, and I'm getting goosebumps even just talking about it.
No, because I'm about to come in. Remember the first day, and I told you, I was like, my upper body strength is so whack, it's so weak. And you said, Tam, just use the bands, and eventually you'll be able to do it. Now I can pull myself up. With the band. Like, I was like, this is awkward, and I'll say, George, this feels weird, but I can do it now. And I noticed that my upper body, I can do shoulder taps with no problem. I'm back to regular push-ups now, right? So you're right. And it's the consistency. And no, you will not always feel motivated. Because there are mornings I'm like, I don't feel like it. I'm like, but you better get your black ass up and get to that.
And get going, right? And where I think we fool ourselves sometimes, Sammy, is we always look for motivation. And if it's not there, we don't move. Right? So that's why in the beginning, I love giving that, like, hey, there isn't going to be motivation all the time. If you can make it here to me, I'm going to motivate you for the hour. But there may not be motivation to get here. Consistency is key. Stick with it. You get motivated initially. Everyone has their why, right? It's one of two things that's going to get you to make a change. Why I want to, or what do I want out of the change, or what I don't want anymore in myself. I got to a point where I didn't want to be fat anymore. Right. I didn't know what I wanted to be. So I didn't have that why of what I wanted, but I knew what I didn't want anymore. Okay. And those are the two things. Once you get that motivation, say, okay, this is my drive, then it needs to be consistency. And then once consistency comes, and you know too, Tam, all you need to see is a little bit of change, and then that becomes an addiction.
Once my shoes get loose, honey, it's on and popping, because it becomes I'm losing weight.
That's it. Once the pants
so this is the thing, George. And I want, because people don't understand sometimes the trials and tribulations of learning from your failures. So when we had the party a few weeks ago, Tasha must be proud of the video, but she's not here, so I don't want to mess up anything. You said something, and it almost brought me to tears. You said, I tried to open a gym, and the first time I did it, I failed. So give me some of that.
Sure. So 4.5 years back, I've always had, again, once I was uncomfortable in the gym, I've always had that thought of opening that safe haven. So I partnered up with someone, had the whole plan, really had in mind what we were going to buy. And I had all these ideas of what I wanted and how it was going to be run. And I was trying to be that business guy, right? The numbers guy, not the people guy, even though I always am, but is trying to set up like that. So what I was going to do is I was going to invest in it, have someone else run it. It wasn't truly my vision. It was kind of our vision.
Right.
And the day of closing, he bailed out on me. And so again, thank God it didn't happen when we opened the gym, because then I would have been forced to leave my job and go. But that moment made me realize that that there's always going to be a time, no matter how much it is that you're trying to run your business, that you need to become a human, right? You need to have that human touch and that human aspect of it, instead of trying to be, in the beginning, it was almost like, if you really think about it, Tammy, I was almost going to be an investor.
Okay.
And I was going to be looking at it from a distance and do this, do that. Then I realized that no, I truly believe in my vision. I believe in my vision on its own. And that's when I was like, okay, you know what? I need to now save up enough that I can do this on my own. And go at it in a way where it's more of a human touch than it is a business. And I've done the whole reverse now, where I haven't even, I don't look at numbers till I actually need to, and everything else just works its way
You
in.
know what someone told me once before? I used to do certified business owners, and this successful businessman, he said to me, money is a byproduct of something you love to do.
Mm-hmm.
And if you love to do it, the money's going to come.
It's going to come. Period.
Right?
End of story.
I
agree
think
100%.
the business, if you're a business person, as George is, I run business app, you always look at numbers. But I'm a firm believer that God provides. And the first thing I said to George and his wife, I think it was like, because it's funny, because we're really like a family. Everybody follows each other on Instagram. And I said, I pray that you become millionaires behind this. And I think that your vision is amazing, because everything you say is everything you experience when you come through that door. Like, so for me, I'm never consistent. That's the problem. Like, I'll see a little change. I can get in my little clothes and I'm like, I'm out of here. But I think it's the challenge of wanting to do better and better and better. And I've always wanted to lift weights. I didn't know how. I knew I wasn't a fool enough to get in the gym and hurt myself, because my father pulled his back many years. He has a slip disc because he was lifting and wasn't doing it properly. A friend of mine who we've had on the show several times, his name is Ray Chavis, who I would love to introduce you to. He's a personal trainer as well. He's like, Tam, it's a mind thing. You know, you said that. He's like, you can go in there, but if your mind ain't right, so sometimes we'll laugh. They'll be like, Tim, what you over there meditating? I'm like, actually, I am.
You got to get the mind right.
You got to get my mind right, then my body can go, right? so I know this to be true, but everything that you are saying, you literally experienced. Like, it was, I came there one time and I was like, okay. So Eric and I'm like, Eric, what is this hitting for? Like, what's up? Because I'm usually down for whatever Eric puts me in for. So I'm like, okay. And then I go and I keep going. And I keep going. Then I'm like, I know this is good because I don't want to miss it. Like, I feel like I'm missing something if I don't go.
Yep.
So that's why I love it. Even now, I'm like, George, I really don't feel like getting up in the morning because I got to pack because I'm going away. But I got to get to this class. And contractually, I'm in commitment to myself. It has nothing to do with George. George provides the service. But Tammy, you know what you said you were going to do. I said, Mary, I'm going to do this 6-month membership because I want to really see what I can do with my body in 6 months. And I've done what people are like, you look amazing. I'm like, I be pulling like shit on my back like a horse, like you said.
Yeah, I think at this point, Tammy, you're addicted now. Like, and that's the thing. Like, you almost feel like you're calling out of work when you don't go.
Yes.
Right. It's like you have that feeling like, oh man, I'm not going.
Like, George, I can't. I said, George don't give a damn about who I, because I was tired. I'm like, George, I can't make it. But right. I'll hit Natty up. I'll hit Meg up. Like, I can't come. But if I say I'm gonna come, I have to be dead almost not to come, because I'm like, no, I'm gonna go here. Because you know what I always say? I'm gonna feel good at the end of my hour. So when we're at round 5 of boxing, I'm like, this was all worth it.
That's it. And
even though
once you leave, you feel great.
Like, I'm good.
Right. And that's the beauty of it, is that once you are done with it, it's an accomplishment. Yep. I did that. I did, again, Issa, all the time. Did that. We did the hard things, right? Like, something that I know is going to be hard for me, I intentionally left my house and went to go do it. Mm-hmm. Like, that creates that mindset for everything outside of the gym, right? Like, and I always say this, and it's, people laugh at me, like, everything we do there, we're exercising, whether it be our muscles or our brain, for the real world. If consistency is consistency, just if you're consistent in the gym, Tammy, you're going to be consistent everywhere, because consistency is consistency, right? If I'm going to push myself at the gym, I'm going to push myself in life. Yeah. And I think that's the more important message. And I think that's what we were talking about during the brunch. And that's what I was trying to tell everyone is this is kind of our wheelhouse, where, like, hey guys, let's come in here. Let's figure out who we are, what we're doing. Let's get better, so we're better for the world when we leave. And I think that's the most important thing, is that the more we can elevate ourselves, the more, whether it be through mental or physical health or whatever it may be, the more we elevate ourselves, the more we're better for everyone else out there. And I always say, like, our 5 a.m. classes are filled with a bunch of teachers, right? Because our teachers take our 5 a.m. Mm-hmm. And I always tell the girls, all the trainers, like, make a difference in that class. They're going to talk to 28 children once you're done with them. Imagine you start their day off right, and then they go and they have all these children. So now you've touched this many people in a span of an hour. And I think that's what it's all about. And, you see it every time you walk in, Tammy. That Tupac quote I live by. I may not be the one that's going to change the world, but I'm going to spark the mind that changes the world.
And
That's
let me say that, right? So George had these amazing murals, which I'm new to the crew, so I understand it was at the other location. But when you're looking around the gym and you have quotes from Muhammad Ali, quotes from LeBron James, quotes from not LeBron, Kobe. It's like, oh man, like I'm a quote queen. I love quotes, right?
Maya Angelou, really once you walk in.
It makes a difference. It makes a difference.
It sets the atmosphere. And you know what? It's like all that, and you can attest to this. It's really what we believe. Like that Maya Angelou quote means the world to me. People forget what you said. People forget what you did, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. That's the biggest quote in the gym. And it's all the stuff. These aren't just pictures up on the wall. These are actual things that mean something to us. And I think being able to walk into an environment like that helps a little, right?
It does.
It's nice to go into that last set and then look up and read that and be like, I can't stop now. Like, it's, again, you're not going to find motivation everywhere. You got to grab it from wherever you can. But
George, when I walk into a 5 o'clock class, like I've never seen it. So I've been going, at 46, I've done gyms for a good portion of my life, probably over half, right? We were laughing at the end of Natty's class today. And the guy said, this doesn't feel like a 5 o'clock. George, there had to be like 20 people in the 5 o'clock class. Like, who the hell's getting up at 5 in the morning?
Yep.
So, getting up at 5, but getting up at 5 is one thing. Going out in 30-degree weather is something altogether different.
Yep.
And it was a full house at 5 a.m. this morning.
Yep.
So.
Or even the other way, Tam, right? Like no one wants to get up when it's 85 degrees either. Yeah. On the other end of it, and this is Jersey, so we have it all. Yeah. We've got every side of it. But it's like, get there, right? Just get there. Your tribe's waiting for you. And then we roll. That's kind of like it's that simple. It's not simple, but it really is that simple. Like, and I always tell my athletes, I was like, oh, I just need one thing from you. Just show up. I don't need anything else. I don't need you to know what the workout is. I don't care if you show up and you sit in the corner for an hour. Right. But let's get in the habit of getting out of the house and getting here and just come with the fam. Do what you got to do. If you can only go for 30 minutes, go for 30 minutes. And the other 30, do what you got to do. But get there. That's the one job we have. And then from there, we all.
The rest is up to you.
We all, yeah. And again, we're all there for each other.
Motivation.
That's the beauty
but
of
you know what, George? Your body craves it. So I tell everybody, I'm like, I don't really sleep a lot since COVID, right? I usually go to bed about 8, 9. I'm up by 2. I go back to sleep at about 2:30, and I'm back up at 4:15 because that's what time I get up out the bed to get to you all at 5. It's the most peaceful time in the morning because I live in the hood, right? So there's nothing going on in the hood at 4 in the morning. I'm like,
there's nothing going on anywhere at 4 in the morning.
Right. So it's just a peaceful time. And hey, Chris. It makes a big difference.
So with that being said, let me just cut y'all short for a minute. Of course, everybody that's watching on here right now, Facebook has some technical difficulties. They somehow took us off, but we're still on YouTube and Twitter, guys. And those that's on there watching on YouTube, I see you watching. Thank you for being there for us. We appreciate y'all following us. And I want to show this video. I have a video that I found, George, of your gym. So I want to just show this. It came off of your Instagram page. It just brings us into your gym just so people can get a little, taste of what your gym is about.
Awesome.
This is where your location is on Riverside Avenue. So I wanted everybody to know that it's in New Jersey. Yes, and ma'am. So far, you guys are not live, like doing any YouTube channels, anything like that, because I know then people can actually work out with you. But I know that's soon to be coming, you said.
Yes, ma'am.
A virtual class. So I love that idea.
I'll be away. I'm like, I got to take my workout clothes.
I got you, Tammy. I got you.
So let me share this video here and let me make sure I don't get this together. Where are we here? I think we're right here. Let's go.
How it goes now.
That's our main room there, and then the camera is going to walk into the boxing room. And
Did you do this video, Drew?
this is great.
This is how it goes down.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So that's just a little clip there. If you go to his Instagram page on now I just went blank. What is it? What is the name of it now?
Break underscore the underscore mold NJ.
I still have pregnancy brain sometimes. I'm like, what was I about to say?
No, Tasha, that's called old age, honey.
No, it
You're
has to do
45
with
now.
no,
You
no,
have
no,
brain
no,
freeze.
no. I was like, what's the name of
That's
it again?
pregnancy plus old, honey. Let's be clear.
But Instagram, he's on there. You guys can watch the videos and different things, get you motivated. And I'm pretty sure you can go on there and see some of the workouts and try it at home wherever you are, any state, you know?
No, you might want to wait because you don't want to hurt yourself.
Yes.
Well, always stretch before you do. Always stretch. Stretch before and
Absolutely.
after. With that being said, George, I wanted to ask you a question. What, besides you reopening your gym, because I heard that you at one point it failed and you started back up and you're here now. You broke the
Yes.
mold. You
We
broke it.
did. Yes, we
You did it. You didn't let it, you didn't sit in that and just sit there. You just like,
Right.
okay, I'm gonna break through this, which
Right.
is great. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What is some of the challenges that you face now that you have been in this gym right now and owner of your own? So what are like one of the challenges you say is your biggest challenge and that you're working towards to kind of push forward through that, break the mold again?
Right. So again, I have a very weird situation because I opened my gym during a pandemic, which I'm sure isn't like a normal occurrence every so often. But I think with us, to be honest with you, is finding the time and space for everyone. Right. Like we've got classes where we're waitlisted, and my thing has always been I want to have a big footprint. I want to be able to make a change, not just in Lyndhurst, but like all across the country. So one thing that we just did recently, 2 Saturdays ago, we actually had a mental health day. And we partnered up with a gym from Houston, Texas. And it was I don't want to get into too many details, but it was absolutely fantastic. It was a bunch of people that we were live with in Houston that probably weren't going to work out that day, that had a bunch of issues. The class after us was a bunch of guys that actually drove from a halfway house and did their first workout ever because they were motivated by, I didn't really tell everyone this stuff, Tammy, but yeah, they actually, yeah.
You know, that's the population of people.
we got a bunch of emails saying because of watching you guys, I didn't have that drink today. I actually walked around. I couldn't do the workout, but I walked around during the time that you guys were working out. So my challenge is I want to be able, I always look at, and I say tribe all the time. I'll always look at it. And the bigger I can build my tribe, the bigger I can make a difference.
Every tribe.
Yes. Again, every other month we're doing different things. This month, for instance, we're collecting food for the Lyndhurst Food Pantry. We did it last year. We're doing it this year. It's real fun. So we collect all the food, and the day we're going to deliver it, we don't just deliver it. We all fill our book bags up and we trek that mile. So we're getting a little fitness involved in it and being able to do it. So honestly, my biggest is being able to make a big enough difference to have a big enough footprint. And that's my struggle right now is I'm only in one building and I can only do so much. So that's where I started partnering up and I think we spoke about this on our, when we had our 1-year anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I've learned and the biggest challenge is that there's nothing that can be done alone.
Right.
Is that collab that's it. That's the new word now.
Everything.
And you know, you see companies like Nike and Kith and all these big, all of a sudden, all collabing where you were up against each other. It's like, this is something's clicking here, right?
Right.
And that's the route I'm going now. I don't necessarily need to have more buildings to make a bigger footprint, but I can have more partners and
not in the world of technical, we can Zoom like you did, right?
Yeah. So again, like we had 50 somewhat people in the gym that day, and we had Houston, Texas up on our big screen, and we were working out together.
And
it was all for mental health. Yeah. Okay. It was all for mental health. So it was being able to find that solution for how can we touch more people. And again,
exactly.
Physical fitness it's a gym, right? That's what we think about all the time. But what I tell my athletes all the time is what we're doing is a means to an end. What we need to do is make a change, whether it be by bettering ourselves in here or what we do, or taking what we do here and taking it out to the real world or the outside world, right? And being able to make a change. So that was kind of my struggle is how can I use this amazing. And again, Tosh, if you ever would come to the gym, and Samuel, it's an amazing set of people. I got extremely lucky. Very, very, very lucky to have all these athletes. And again, you find one good person and they're friends with other good people. You treat that one good person right, they're going to bring all good people. Right. And that's what's been happening. Yeah. So we had a September, Tosh, I'm pretty sure you don't know this. My father passed away September 11th in the Towers. So we have a September 11th run every year. We raised over $8,000. A little rinky-dink small gym in Lyndhurst raised $8,000. We had, what did we do for breast cancer? Man, around $2,000 when we end up doubling it up?
Yeah.
Around $2,000 for breast cancer. Our next month, we're going to be collecting toys for the Ronald McDonald House in Philly.
And I'm going to get you a connection because my godmother has a connection. She does toys every year, and she has Sunman.
Yes,
yep. So remind me, and I'm gonna. So you see how things have divine connections. I never think that I land in a place, and I'm like, I hope they don't think I'm like a kiss up, but this is me. I'm a giver by nature. This is who I am. Same. This is who Tasha is. And when I come to bless. I come to sprinkle whatever God has given me. So
especially that mouth.
Shut up.
With that being said, I'm about to chop y'all right now because I got Megan in backstage and I'm trying to get her on here and y'all just keep going and going and going. I'm like, Megan, I'm gonna have you on here in just a minute, Megan. Hold on, Megan. But these two right here,
oh boy.
They got it, Megan. Megan, without further ado, because if I let this go, they gonna keep chopping it up like this.
I told you I talk too much.
I see it. You and Tammy like, and that one over there, I already know. So
and now you know both of us.
Now, Megan, without further ado, I hear that you are the partner, the crime, the make it happen, Megan.
Anything George Megan is down for.
That's what I hear. So let's welcome Megan to our show tonight.
Hi, little Megan.
Hi, what up, Meg?
How are you?
How are you?
I call her Meg the Stallion. She's the real Meg the Stallion.
I was looking at them, Megan, like, I wanted to say, well, wait a minute. Miss Barbara always say, when someone talks a lot, this is my godmother, she always say, wait a minute, Wooly, let me get a word in. That's what I wanted to say to them. Like, wait a minute.
I warned you, Tosh. I warned you beforehand.
I knew we were going to be a while waiting for them.
Megan. I was just
like, like, yo, can I get in?
Yes, I'm just like them. So now you got three of us.
Hey, that's fine. That's fine. Chop
Tosh
it
is
up.
like, as long as those two ain't talking no more.
Megan, I need another voice. No, I'm just joking. I'm just like, let Megan in here because we're and George, we're actually at 44. Look, see this one right here.
No,
she
just go talking about that. Listen,
no,
Megan,
what I'm saying is, George, we're 45 minutes into this already. That's why I was like, let me pop Megan here.
Yep.
But Megan already knew I was bringing her in at the 40th minute. I already texted her. So see, you was slow, Tasha.
I was getting set up this whole time, huh?
She was like the weapon.
You're late.
You're late. The weapon of mass destruction. But Meg, let me tell you what Meg did to me the other day, right? So Meg is a teacher, right? So I'm doing something, and Meg goes, "You're not listening." I said, "Did you just sun me?" Like, she's like, "Listen, you're not listening, Tammy." I was like, I felt like a kindergartner. Like, tell me what I did.
I told her what to do. I walked away. She's like, all right, I got it. I came back. She was doing what she was doing before. She's like, you didn't listen to me.
Megan, you have to understand that 46,
You know,
I do
Tasha
what the hell
loves
I
that.
want. I'm almost 50, honey. I'm like, I'll get there. I'll figure it out.
Meg, I'm glad somebody else noticed and she doesn't
knew it.
listen.
Tasha, shut the hell up. Hi, Meg.
How
so
are
tell
you?
us tell us what your role is in the gym. Tell us who you are.
All right.
You
So
gonna let Meg talk? Oh,
No.
yeah,
Shut
maybe
the hell up,
for a minute,
Tasha.
maybe for a minute. So listen, so what you guys said, you nailed it on the head. I mean, it's kind of like once I met George, it was like boom. I mean, I knew like everything that he kind of stands for. And same thing when I met Tammy. You feel that energy from people that like want to impact the world and just make it a better place. And I feel like that's my part. Like George said, like we're more than just a gym, you know, like the gym is really just like our platform. That's just
Right.
where we get to do the speaking, but to bring people together. And I've seen people come in those doors that maybe weren't like us and are like, wow, like this is amazing. And they want to be like us. And to see that is awesome. To see people realize that it's not just about you. It's not just about one person. And like George said, even about companies collaborating, coming together. My ultimate dream, my passion, I've spoken to George about this, and Tammy, I feel like I've said this to you, but is like for the whole world to realize that we're so much better together than we are apart. And the more that we do stuff together, we help people, even the people that irk you and bother you, you always put out good into the world and it's going to come back. And could you imagine a world full of goodness? Like, and that's just break the mold is just like the beginning of that. And like George said, like the goal is to just keep that going. And we're just one small building right now, but we're full of people that are so much more than just coming to work out. And it's just this right here, being connected right here. Like to me, Tammy is just as valuable as George. Tasha, I'm sure you're just as valuable as the two of
That's
them.
Nurse Tasha. Anything you need to know about medical, that's the girl right there.
informatics. I'm an informatics. I love informatics. So
All right. Yeah,
spreadsheets, numbers, give it to me.
I like it. But that's it. You know, my job is to just like obviously the physical fitness part, but there's so much more to it. And just knowing people, getting to know people, connecting people, making them feel like they're not alone, and helping everybody realize how much better we all are together that's kind of my piece. That's my piece in life, you know, not just
So Meg, what actually motivated you to get started, and what age did you start? You know, getting into this break the mold and fitness and
George, I think we're gonna have to be quiet. This is gonna be really hard, George.
I'm actually gonna mute myself so that I don't have.
So you can't say anything, right?
You guys will just see my mouth moving, and then you won't hear anything. So I'm gonna mute because I'm actually doing good. It's been like 30 seconds. I haven't opened my mouth.
and I'm pretty sure your mouth is on fire right now. You want us loose.
So to answer your question, while everybody's quiet for a moment, you know, my whole life, I've just, like Tammy said about herself, I've been a giver. It's always meant more to me to do for others than for myself. To be honest, one of my flaws is doing for myself, not doing enough for myself. Which this community and everything that we are kind of has helped me be able to do both, to balance taking care of me and other people. But that's been my passion. I knew I wanted to be a teacher when I was a little kid. Outside of working at Break the Mold, I've worked at summer camps my whole life. I tutor, I work the kids program at the camp. Anything I can do to help other people, you know, and like I said, feel like they're not alone, feel like they can do things that maybe they think are hard, put themselves into the uncomfortable positions to grow. Because, you know, if we all live in our comfort zone, we're not going anywhere. So to help people feel comfortable in the uncomfortable position and let them know, like, even if you fail, you fall down, like, we're going to get back up and we're going to get through it. And I tell people all the time, uncomfortable is hard, but the excitement of being in the uncomfortable is when you get on the other side, the growth and like the things that you see that you would have never seen. Like I've done it and it's unbelievable. So to be able to help other people see that's something that's been innate in me since like I was a little kid.
With that being said, George and Megan, do y'all see in the future of y'all having break the mold for like the little people?
As in kids?
They
Yeah.
have it already.
Meg
yeah, we
actually
have
runs
it.
our kids program now.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's what I seen on here. I was trying to figure out, was that what I was watching on your Instagram? It says that on your homepage actually. So tell us a little bit about those classes for the kids.
Go for it, Meg.
We started the classes. It's interesting. So George started his gym, obviously wanted to open it but right before the pandemic hit. So now we gotta, all right, what are we gonna do? How are we gonna make this work? How are we gonna pay these bills? So he opens it around like June time, like summertime. And then that fall, I go back to school virtually. And the first day of school, I said to George, after being on the computer with all these kids, after years of being in a classroom with them, I said, George, I said, I can't, it's breaking my heart to look at 27 little children on a screen and have no interaction with them. They're not I said it was sad. It was depressing. So I said, I don't care if one kid comes, and I don't care if I just sit here and play checkers with them. I don't care what it is. I said, but we need to offer something. I said, we need to open something up. So it really started as kind of like, come here for an hour and a half, and whoever shows up, whatever ages we get, Coach Meg is going to make it work. And I'm going to make sure you guys still socialize and you have time together. And to be honest, it almost turned into what I like to call like the miniature version of the adult break the mold. It was a
Really?
mix of great kids. They worked together as a team. If somebody wasn't there one day, it was, hey, Olivia's not here. Like, and the next day they would fill her in on what happened. And it was just like I said, like the adult break the mold. It was like they turned into a community where like they helped each other. I had kids as old as 15, as young as 6, working out together, doing things, and nobody like, I don't want to work with this kid or that. It was so amazing, and I wish I could encompass it and put it here for you to see. Up there's me in
There
one of
she
my little
is.
ones. Yep.
I have to cut Meg off for a second because I need to say something, and I stayed quiet for like 30 seconds. So I think that's fine.
Yes, George. Stay here, please, George. I'm waiting to speak after you.
So this is Meg. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So I think what kind of something that Meg's leaving out. So Noah, Tosh, you just met him for the first time right before we got on. So I'll give you an example of what Noah used to be versus what he is now ever since, he's been going through the kids program with Meg. So we went to Eagle Rock, which is a park in West Orange, and they have the 9/11 memorial there, and it's also hiking. We parked the car. We're walking in the parking lot to the memorial, and Noah looks over at me and goes, Dad, this hiking thing isn't for me. I'm like, we're still in the parking lot, Noah. He goes, well, what? He ran to his mom and goes, Mom, I got to get back to the car. I can't walk this much. So now he owns his own bar. He has his own lifting bar.
Barbell.
Yeah, so
he takes 5 a.m. classes.
He's just a normal in the gym. He takes adult classes, not kids classes. He takes the adult classes. Meg's
and he tells me to go harder. Tammy, go harder.
Yep. Meg's there with him, step by step, helping him out. But I think what made a difference, and again, we're talking about all this happening in not just 1 year, but a year that wasn't familiar to any of us, right? Meg wanted to get the kids out of the house, not for fitness. Meg just wanted to get the kids out of the house because she saw, being a teacher, she saw their faces on Zoom every day and realized that this wasn't right. And I think when she came to me with that and said, this is what we should do. And there was no, we're going to do squats or deadlifts no, Meg found games to play with them. And to be honest with you, it was almost heartbreaking in the beginning because I saw some of these kids that I used to coach in sports because I've been coaching in sports in town for a while. And they're a little bit bigger than what they used to be. And to see that in a child gets kind of heartbreaking at times. And the things that Meg was able to do with the kids and the adults, but we're talking about the kids program now, was amazing. So I'll give you an example, Tosh, and this is gonna blow you away. And this is very recent. There's a workout that we do, the adults, called the 1,000 rep challenge. What that is 10 exercises and 100 of each one. So you're doing 1,000 reps of something, right? You as an adult said, "Oh wow." Meg knew that the kids could do it. She had our kids program do the same exact workout. She scaled it for the younger kids, but some of the kids, if I'm not wrong, Meg, some of the older kids did the 1,000 reps.
And let me tell you, George, not to interrupt you, but
Go for it.
We got to the point where my kids saw, this is how it went down. They saw the workout on the board for the adults. And they said to me, Meg, what's that? And I said, oh, that's the class for this afternoon. And they were like, we could do that. I said, okay. And that was their class, and they did it. And then George later told me, oh, Meg, most adults, like, they had a partner where one did 50, the other did 50. And these kids did all 100 by themselves and asked for it and wanted to do it. And like he said, we're talking about a lot of kids, some of them overweight, due to the pandemic. And then other ones just not always the athletic kid that was really good at sports. And these kids, they just took such pride. I can do 100 squats. I can do this. I can do that. And they did it, and they crushed it. And watching them is phenomenal.
So I think that point needs to be reiterated one more time. Meg didn't want the athletes. Meg didn't want the kids that knew what they were doing. It was the opposite. She wanted the kids that didn't want to be there. She wanted the kids that this was going to be uncomfortable for. And now we've got some of them begging their parents to join the adults. Ariana's 13, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we have two
that we have.
Her oldest and Bree. We have two of our older kids that were in the program. They're fully in the adult classes now.
Yeah, and it's amazing to see. And again, to your point, Tammy, of motivation, right? Like, if these kids at this age are doing this, like my Jeremiah, who was the oldest of my older, started with Megan. He doesn't need motivation anymore. And I'll tell you this. The past 2 days, we're about 2 miles from the gym, Meg, my house. Am I correct? About 2 miles. Yep. My son doesn't want to ride to the gym anymore. He runs to the gym, does his hour workout, and then comes home with me.
I love it.
And I'm not a runner. I am the complete opposite of that. So that didn't come from me.
He's a runner. He just doesn't like doing it. He's very good at it.
I don't like running, Tosh. So let's put it that way.
Well, I can say that when you guys make us run, I could do it. Like at first, and George, I would say, and I would tell Megan as well, I had to wear a knee brace. I haven't put that knee brace on in 6 weeks. And I actually gave it away.
Tam, I still remember the first day that you took a class, and then
I was chubby. Don't you dare!
Nope. And then,
I'll say
no, not the first class you took. No, the first day you took a class, and immediately afterwards posted that you were at the track.
Yeah,
that was the day that I was like, up now, Tammy, she's comfortable.
Because this is good. So that's what Eric and I would do. We would leave there and we would go around the track, right down the street. That was our thing. We were like, so then I said, Eric, let's do a 30-day challenge. And I worked out for 30 days straight. And everybody's like, yo, you look amazing. But it was my, I hate to sweat because I'm like real girly, but I'm really not, I'm really tomboyish. So I'm like, I'm sweating and I sweat now. And I'm like, oh, but they said, sweat makes you glow. So
there you go. Right? It's glitter, Tammy. It's glitter. It ain't sweat.
So what, George, so for me, George, it's just like, however I can help you to propel your vision, I'm here for it. And I know a lot of people, and I don't say that in a way of like bragging. Seriously, I know so many people because I've done so many things, and I'm like, oh, I know such and such, so I have the cycling club. My godmother does, Sunman. So I have so many connections, and I'm really going to make that connection for you for Christmas because she always looks for a place to donate toys. And now that she's back at Mattel with Sunman, I'm sure she can probably do some amazing things.
That's fantastic.
I'm sorry to put you out there, but I am. So and she looked last year. She was looking for some place to donate toys. So I'm definitely gonna put her in touch with you.
Thank you.
With that being said,
I think that God makes the divine connections for a reason.
Marion here, that's the missus, correct, George?
Yes,
ma'am.
Okay, because I'm seeing her popping on here saying, "Yay!"
Wait, can we talk about this for a second? Can we just talk about how she was extremely excited when Megan came on, but said nothing when I came on? Right or wrong?
She did.
Can we go back in the comments? She Meg come on. She had exclamation marks and everything. I didn't get none of that.
Marion was on here saying,
"Where's that energy when I came on?"
She said, "You're good at running, babe."
Yeah,
laugh out loud.
After she gave Meg all those props now.
Yeah,
she's sitting right over here, so she hears everything I'm saying.
I think you're a little salty, George.
George,
she got Meg with like 4 exclamation marks. I didn't even get a G or nothing.
She hasn't seen me in 24 hours.
That's true.
I know it.
That's true.
I know it.
Megan and my wife are very, very close friends.
I see.
I love it. I love it. So
She's surprised. She knew you
Miriam,
were coming.
I'm gonna have to give you guys a tutorial on a color run sweatshirt.
Yes.
That was
yes, that sweatshirt was
Hot.
fire.
Hot.
you know she had to switch it up.
I had it on this morning, so I'm walking across the floor. I'm like, people like, that ain't the damn sweatshirt I bought.
Exactly.
Someone asked me, they're like, "You made that for her?" I'm like, "I
He
didn't make that for
revamped
her.
it.
She made that."
She goes out. She goes, Meg, get ready. She goes, you're gonna get orders.
I did. I was like, I don't like anything typical. If it's different, I'll take it.
So
Great.
George, how many staff members do you have? Because I'm on your website, and everybody watching, please go to this website just to make sure that you can look at what's going on with
They're
Break the
amazing
Mold
people.
Fitness.
If I get
I
up
see
at 4 in the morning, anybody can.
She don't let me talk.
That's
This is what we go through on this podcast. They're always
You
like,
need to get yourself a mute button. That
Yeah, you gotta mute her.
George, let me tell you what I've done. I actually muted her. I took her off the stream before while we like bloop.
she gets
took
back
her
on
off.
though, right? You can't get rid of her. No, I know.
But
we have 6 total. We have 6 trainers with including myself.
okay.
We've got Megan. We have Natalie. We have Issa. We've got Christina.
Gina.
And Gina. And I'm the 6th. So that's our 6th. Amazing young ladies. Like every one of them has their craft that they've like kind of perfected. Meg started with boxing. And that was it. Kind of just first started with just a kids program, then worked her way to boxing. And now is on her way to strength and conditioning, the whole 9. Meg's one of those. It's a constant grower. Issa right there, our rock star in our
hell yeah.
Issa is like if you want that Peloton feel plus 100, Issa's the person to take.
5 o'clock on a Monday morning.
Yeah. G,
Daddy, that's my
he's been there
favorite.
since day one with us. She kind of coaches a little bit of everything but boxing. Natty, our strength and conditioning coach. That's the one that Tammy's she follows Tammy around making sure she's going heavy.
Yeah.
I'm like, get away from me, Natalie.
And Christina does our also strength and conditioning. Young lady just got her certification recently. And again, the beauty of I think the whole crew is that none of them have ever done it before. Outside of I think Gina's done it for a few years, but no one's ever done it before. And to me, it was more, and I think Meg says this all the time, hire the smile and you can teach the skill, right? And I know she's got this from her past life where she used to work. That's kind of what I see too, is I'll spend the time investing in my girls and in doing
Thanks, Mayor.
the movements and all that stuff, as long as they understand the culture. Because to me, culture comes first. It's the mindset, it's the caring, it's the family. And I think all of our girls are extremely strong in that. And I'm, again, as much as I've been blessed with the members that we have, I've been extremely blessed with these young ladies that every day I'm not the type to, and again, so just to preface, I've been married for 16 years now. So I know to say I'm wrong. I've been trained to say when I'm wrong. So now that I have 5 women that I'm working with, it's the same. Like I get so many ideas from them. I get put in my place so many times, and it's all in such an amazing way that it's like it's seamless. There isn't George the coach or George the owner or Meg the box. It's just everyone is a family, and it's like, hey, try this. Hey, do this. Hey, do this. There isn't, oh, you did this, you can do that. No, it's, hey, why don't you try this? I did this, it worked for me, and it's become. It works in our little core of 6 people that we can kind of elevate it and then take that light and shine it on the rest of the members, and then they do their thing and take it out and then keep going. Is that it's a beautiful thing to have a team that clicks. There's problems all the time. I'm not going to hide. There's no business that you're going to run that you're not going to have the ups and downs. Like, we opened in a pandemic. I can sit here for 3 hours and list you the problems that we went through and the problems we're still going through. But the fact of the matter is they're all of them are absolutely amazing. And the way they treat my athletes, the way they treat their athletes, the way they treat the family there, there's not much I could really say. What they've done, every single one of them, above and beyond. I know every single one of them, without hesitation, would bend over backwards. Tammy, and correct me if I'm wrong, every single one of them, no matter what a member asks, they're there. And that's where I think I got extremely, extremely lucky. And they say it all the time, Tosh, you work hard enough, the luck kind of comes in. And maybe I was just working hard enough that I was able to snag these 5 amazing people that are now kind of running the show for me. Like Meg said, when we first started, like, I gave every class. And now it's like I'm dying to give a class. I'm like, hey guys, I'm going to jump in here and give a class. And it's like, it's getting to the point now where they're like, George, who? Like, Meg's giving boxing classes now. And it's like,
oh, yeah,
too, but did you go to Meg's class? And it's like,
oh, yeah, Friday night class is serious.
And we laugh about it, right? We joke around about it at the gym, but there's nothing more I love hearing than that. There's nothing more I love.
Let me cut in on you, George. All right, because Tosh and Tammy, I'm going to tell you guys right now. I'm listening to him say all this stuff, and Mayor will tell you, Meg is the biggest advocate for George, and this man doesn't give himself enough credit. He doesn't give himself enough anything. When he first took like all these new coaches on, right? Because for a long time it was just him. And then he had Tina come in, and I was doing the kids program. It was just the 3 of us for a while, and then a whole batch came in. And he was, poof, gone off the schedule. And I said, George, I'm very upset. He's like, about what? I said, you don't coach any more classes. I said, I'm upset as an athlete, not even as your friend. I said, you took you away from me. And I think that it's really important that a lot of people, I mean, he doesn't give himself enough credit. He very rarely ever does. And I think everything he just said about us, not only do a lot of us already embody that, but he is a phenomenal, he doesn't like this word, but I wouldn't even call him a boss, leader. And I always say to him all the time, George, you teach me nothing with your words, right? You teach me everything with your actions. I said, I watch you. And he never, ever gives me what I want, ever. When I want things my way, he's like, yeah, no, Meg. He's like, that's not happening. He gives me exactly what I need. He never gives me what I want. He always gives me what I need. And I think hands down, one of the most amazing human beings that I've ever met in my life. And I'm very, very lucky and very blessed to have him. And I think we all are as a team. And I think that he doesn't give himself enough credit. He's just as important and special to the team as the team is to him. So to hear him say everything, I just want to take a little moment to say that same thing right back to George. All right.
With that being said, guys, we're past the top of the hour right now.
We are.
Oh yeah, way past. No, I'm just saying we're only 8 minutes into it. But with that being said, George, before we go off of here, I'm just going to put you up here, and I need you just to say maybe a sentence, but I need you to say at least 3 words of something fitness to get these audience that's on here motivated to even just to break the not you, Tammy. Not you, Tammy. Pipe down. Say something to the audience, and I just want you to give it your all, because you are a motivational speaker, public speaker, even though you don't even know it. You're that, because if you didn't have that in you, your teammates, they wouldn't gravitate to you like that.
A leader is defined by his team.
Character.
You've done it. Yep.
Your character. It says it all. So with that being said, take it, George.
All right. So I think and I'll make it very brief. I think the past year, we've all learned a lot about ourselves, a lot about people around us, a lot about our bodies. And we've seen that right now that the most important thing is health. So if nothing else, if it wasn't motivation from past, if it wasn't motivation from being a little out of shape and wanting to do something, just know that to keep moving, whether it be in a gym or not in a gym. And that's really not what it's about, whether you go to a gym or that's the last thing I would tell anyone to do is just move. If we can get moving, we get our heart going. If we can just get in a habit. And I think, we hit this before. There isn't going to be motivation all the time. but consistency is what's going to get us there. So even if it's just walking for 20 minutes a day, that turns into 30 minutes a day after a month, even that turns into 40 minutes a day, that turns into walking into a gym for 30 minutes and start really doing something different. The healthier we are, the more the body can take, the more we're going to be able to make it through a year like we just had, whether it be mental or physical. Having the body right, having the heart, more importantly, having the lungs being able to breathe in a matter that I don't have to carry all this weight around, and my lungs are struggling to do it. I think more than ever, health and physical health and mental health are extremely important now. And what we've learned from the past year is that not only is it good for you, but it'll probably keep you alive. And I think that's one of the best messages that we've learned from, I'm going to call it trauma, that we went through that past year, is the healthier you are, the more of a chance you're going to have to be able to move on, to be able to continue breathing, to be able to touch the next person. And I think for those of us wanting to make a change, you've really got to make sure that you're 100% before we start touching other people. So keep that in mind. I know the holidays are coming up. We're all going to be eating, and I'm not the guy to tell you don't be careful what you eat on the holidays. Eat, enjoy yourself. It's the holidays. You should, but make sure that when we indulge, we still treat our body like that temple, that we need to make sure that everything is right after that. So enjoy the holidays, enjoy it with the family, and enjoy the food. But let's keep moving. Let's keeping that heart pumping. Let's keep the lungs breathing. I think that's the most important thing now. And if we learned anything from last year, is let's just stay healthy physically and mentally, and really try to support each other.
Thank you, George. And with that being said, let me just tell you guys, thank you for coming on here. We appreciate you here at Fine and Taylor. Just make sure that you guys go, like I said, and look at his location here, Break the Mold, the location. Don't forget to share this on your
If
page.
I can get up at 4 in the morning, anyone can, because I do not like cold weather.
So don't forget to subscribe, like, and share on our YouTube and Facebook and Twitter page, guys. It's Fine and Taylor. With that being said, guys, you guys make sure that you have a great night. And if you can't have a great night, have a great morning. Start it off 5 a.m.
Right.
Break the mold.
And wait, Tasha, just remember that you have been
just been Fine
and Taylor.
And Taylor. Y'all have a great night. Tune in next week.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Have a good day.